Hello everyone, I'm here for Digit, and today I'm joined by the co-founder of Noise, Mr. Amit Khatri. Hello Amit, welcome
Aman.
on Digit. So we're going to talk about the audio industry on a whole. We are going to talk about the Masterbuds, the Bose partnership, and all of that. But first, I want to know that most people know Noise as this leading wearable brand in India, but I'd love to start from your perspective. How did Noise begin, and where does the company stand today in terms of journey and scale?
First of all, thank you so much, Aman, for coming for this. So, we started close to 10 years back.
Right.
And our thesis when we started was, we saw a huge gap in the market when we wanted to buy something. And one of the other person was traveling abroad. We used to ask them, Ki, yaar, bring something. So it was just like bigger brands available or cheap Chinese knockoffs. So that's what the origin of Noise happened from there. Ki, can we bring something for an Indian user who is willing to pay for a better quality product, and he's willing to pay a little price for a better design. So that's how we started. And as an org, we have really evolved from where we started. So we started with as a mobile accessory brand, and today we are now by far top 5 brands in the globe for wearable as a space. Wearable, I mean smartwatches.
Right.
And we're top 3 brands in the country for truly wireless audio devices.
Okay.
And so, we believe that as a company, we should be offering an ecosystem of devices to the users. And India as a market is growing. Customers are very much educated because of digital medium. They are traveling a lot. So our thesis is users are there. If you're willing to, if as a brand you offer them good product, good experiences, they are willing to pay for it also. This is where our thesis is right now.
All right. So Noise has built a strong leadership in the smartwatches category, right? Like you just mentioned. But we can see that you guys are also stepping into the TWS space, the audio category, as we have seen the recent products. So what changed inside the company that made audio such an important focus area for Noise?
See, I think first we are into consumer devices, and I believe in coming time, voice gonna play a very big role. The way we interact, the way we talk to our devices, voice will be a very big part. So I think audio comes from there, and I never look at any company to be a smartwatch company or a audio company. It's just an ecosystem, and what watches allows us that every consumer has to pair a app with a watch when they do it. So that actually gives us a lot of access about the consumer patterns. So audio now coming in the AI era would actually help us to give them a 360-degree ecosystem experience, not just one ad hoc devices.
Right.
It's just a connected device is what we are trying to build. So you have audio devices truly wireless. It could be headphones or a neo form factors, watch, rings, or whatever you want to call it, but it should be connected ecosystem what we are trying to build.
All right. So let's come to the Master Series. So the Master Series feels like a different direction for Noise compared to the rest of your portfolio, right? We have the Air Clips and we have seen the Airwave Max, right? How do you define the role of the Master Series within the Noise brand?
I think Master Series for us is a different avatar of Noise. I see how brand has evolved in last 10 years, and what we believe is that consumers are, like I said, well aware of product availability in the market, and they have experienced all kind of devices. So the stage where we are in, our thesis is, can we offer consumer flagship experiences at prices which could take to the majority of the users.
Right.
So products which are designed well, product which performs well and which sounds well. That is a thesis we are trying to take on and with Master Series.
Right. I've seen the headphones that also recently launched. The design is quite good, and the performance, sound performance, especially the bass heavy performance that we are getting. How the maybe the Indian masses prefer something like that.
So I think two things. First of all, for design, I would comment that a lot of products are getting Red Dot Design Awards as Noise. So we're investing heavily on design, and I would not use bass heavy word because I think
I said it in a good sense.
no, that's fine. But I think what we have now learned, with Bose coming in, we started understanding audio with them a lot more. And what we realized that it's just not at one frequency, sound has to sound well. At all high, mids, lows, it has to sound balanced. So I'd say our products with Master Series are very well balanced sound so that you can hear each and every frequency.
Perfect. So the first Masterbuds already position noise differently in the audio space. Now we have the Masterbuds 2, which were recently unveiled at CES, and they carry more or less the same design language as the first gen model. I want to understand what can the buyer expect in terms of the real world features and upgrades that you get internally with the newer model.
So, we were talking internally that when we were designing it. So normally we have seen audio companies launching products which are iterative, which means they are a little better than the previous generation. In this product, we have really, built the product grounds up again, which means this product has best in class noise cancellation. You go and buy any product from any leader, any brand across, the noise cancellation performance is better. And how it is better is the sound cavity, basically sound architecture inside, we have redesigned and we have borrowed from Bose. So that has helped it to have a great sound experience, which is listening, and great noise cancellation. That is one part. Second, we have worked extensively over drivers and tuning with Bose so that the sound sounds well. And third, we've invested heavily in this today's era on software layer, which actually helps to deliver good AI experiences to the user. So these three parts, but besides that, it has got special audio. When we were talking to users, they said that it's a 4K time. We watch a lot of content on 4K.
Right.
And the sound should feel cinematic. So we worked on special audio where, it has got IMU sensors. So when it moves with your head, just the way you move, the sound field changes basically. So if I'm moving my head on the left side, the sound will feel coming from the left side then. So that is one sound experience upgrade we have worked on.
Right. So you're speaking about the Bose partnership. So Bose investing in noise is a big moment for the Indian consumer tech ecosystem, right?
Yeah.
In practical terms, how has that partnership influenced the way noise designs and develops its audio products lately?
So two things. First, why this partnership happened. So, noise brings in scale, noise brings in accessibility, and noise brings in design. And Bose brings in, like there are 6-decade-old organizations, 6 decades of audio R&D and experiences. So our thesis is India is a very different market. Can we get these two leaders joining hands together and bring great experience to a broad range of users? That was the entire thesis where we joined hands. And definitely Indian market is, no brand can miss.
Right.
International brand looking from there. India is a big market. So this is one part why we joined hands. And we used to work in a very different way. But when we started working with them, we got an access to the labs. I personally traveled there. We realized that audio is being experienced in a very different way in international markets. The technology, it's a huge investment which goes into designing a great sound. So maybe it fast-tracked our journey as how leaders think, how international brands think, how international consumers think. From tuning to noise cancellation to cavity to materials to drivers. So they maybe lifted up. Maybe it could have taken 10 years for us to move up. They did it in 2 years' time with us.
All right.
So great learning for us and our team.
Sure. So can you share a specific example of something that actually changed in your product development process because of this Bose partnership? Any specific example that comes to your mind?
Yeah, I think the quality benchmarks really went up for us when we started working with Bose. So the one thing was very clear that your product's gonna be benchmarked with the best global brands.
Right.
In their lab also, by the way. Whatever a consumer gets here, this is not noise is shipping. Bose is validating that. So there is
Sound is like
so everything like the voice pickup is very critical for an Indian user. Noise cancellation, what noise is claiming, they need to validate it, and and it's sound by Bose, so the sound experience has to be Bose. So it goes through thorough checks. So, to build that experience, noise had to work a lot. We had to unravel what we have learned, and it's a new learning we had. So we had to really work on that part, and I must tell you that uh, it's good for Indian users and for a brand like Noise that we are able to get products at accessible pricing for India. Otherwise, somebody had to spend like 3x, 4x the cost to get
Yeah,
a
of course.
similar sound quality.
I'll agree with
So I would say it's a flagship killer. I mean, it's gonna reset the category norms, the way people perceive sound.
Right. Perfect. So, for a long time, the Indian audio market has been very price driven, right? You just mentioned about the price. So, are you seeing a shift where consumers are willing to pay more for better sound, better design, and the overall premium experiences?
You know, audio market is super competitive,
Right.
and of late, for many years, most of the brands have focused on accessibility, which means working on penetration and going to more and more homes. But like I was talking, Indian user is way mature and way evolving also, by the way. We are very young population, so we're learning very fast. What we have seen is we have appetite. And as a user, if the product is able to come at a right price point and justify the experience, users are willing to pay more.
You are willing to pay more.
Users are 100% willing to pay for better experiences. They want a better design. Better design means they want to resonate to a personality. They want to resonate to not a commodity design. Like if you look at our design, it is very unique. We got Red Dot Design also award also to it. They want to buy a technology which is greatly immersive and give them good sound. And sound doesn't mean sounding well. It has to be comfort also. Let's say if you're listening for audio for 4 hours, there should be no pain or headache in your ears.
Right.
That is also one part to it. And Indian environment is very noisy.
Everything is noise.
Lot is noise. And on an environment where our country lives, you see a lot of chatter around. Let's say you're walking in a metro or walking on a street, going in the metro. So great noise cancellation is key. And second, more importantly, the voice pickup is also key because you're talking to the user. Your sound should go well. And lastly, it's everybody's talking about AI, but
Right.
besides that, people want AI experiences now in the product. I personally believe, if I'm talking to you or I have something in my mind, why do I need to open my phone and type it? I should just tap it here
Right.
and tell it, hey AI, hey Noise AI, can you just make a note I'm meeting Aman and just save it in your memory? Or I'm going to meet this Aman from Digit. Can you tell me more about him? Nobody want to type it anymore. So I think these interactions help.
Right. So you just mentioned AI with features like an AI voice assistant coming into the earbuds. The product seems to be evolving beyond just listening devices, like you just mentioned. So how do you see these earbuds changing over the next few years? So how will this become the norm going forward?
So I think all devices, you're talking about from consumer side.
Right.
I think all devices will become companion devices. People would not want to buy dumb devices who just do one job. I mean, you will not have one device for note taker, for an example, or taking notes. You will not have another device just to listen to music for one purpose and another for second purpose. So devices will become companion. They would do a lot more. There are going to be a lot of software upgrades coming in where your device stays updated over, let's say, a year, 2 years. So that evolution will happen. And people will buy smarter devices, that's for sure. And for smarter devices, then there has to be app ecosystem coming in.
All right. So one last thing. Looking ahead, where do you see Noise in the next 5 years, both as a brand in India and in terms of your global ambitions?
We announced, I think 5 years is too far now.
But you've made a decade-old brand.
I mean, it was a journey where I'll comment for next 2 to 3 years.
Okay.
We announced this launch in global CS this year.
The master buds.
And the first one also we announced in CS last year. So this is a signal to the entire world that Indian brands first have no more making for the country. They have a capability to have competitive hardware, partnering with global brand, and getting a product which is well designed to them, which is fairly priced. So we are not Indian brands are now no more gearing for India; they're gearing for the world stage. That is one part which Master Series is helping us and as a country to go there. And maybe 3 years out, we believe that as an organization at Noise, we should have a strong global presence where Indian brands are being seen as equal par with international markets, international brands, I would rather say.
All right. I would have wrapped up right now, but I just,
Go
want
ahead.
to ask you one last thing. Right. And again, how did you come up with the name Noise? I'm just curious to know about it. Like, what's the story behind the name Noise?
Everybody asks me this thing that what is the...
Very interesting name, no? Noise. Very simple at the same time.
By the way, we never thought we'll do audio. So if somebody asks me, and noise means noise audio, two opposite things.
Right.
But I think, when we started Noise, so we thought the name has to be, typical problem, name has to be short, name has to have 4 or 5 alphabets. And then besides that, I think there was one name which maybe we did when Gaurav was maybe 22. So we wanted a name which was very young and resonate to a young user. And out of all these names, we felt Noise is like, you can hear your inner voice, this is I want to do. This resonates more with today's youth that time, that I don't want to listen to outside clutter. I know what I want to do. So maybe that it resonated more with the younger India and younger ourselves that time. That was a thesis. And we wanted a name to have a meaning, not just a name.
I think it's a very, very catchy name.
And
Apt.
App name?
Now it suits more.
It suits more. Go to any presentation, so end of the presentation, the leader would say, let's make some noise.
Yeah.
Am I right? You go to any conference,
Right.
MC sitting there would be saying, guys, let's make some noise. So I think name is really interesting where it comes across normally in every meeting or every ceremony or any conferences also.
Well,
And our customers love that. That's a good part.
right.
And more than customers, when people come here to join, when they're coming to join Noise, they say, wow, such a lovely name. We resonate to it.
Right. Well, this has been quite the insightful conversation. Thank you so much, Amit. I wish you all the good luck, and I hope you guys keep on making all the noise in the world.
We'll keep making more and more noise.
More and more noise, right? And that's all for this video. I'll catch you all in the next one. Thank you for watching.